Ashtar, for the year 2026, it's a very auspicious time, right now on your planet. So much is possible, and yet so much still needs to be achieved through the efforts of all of you. Nothing is definitively determined. Nothing is set because the key is the contribution, the participation, and the will of each one of us to go with the flow. We know this process can continue and evolve for quite some time yet, even though the time that has passed is already very long. The newest energies arriving on the planet can truly help the rise of consciousness. It's not an easy task, is it? How much can change in a year? It depends. We hope that a great deal can change towards a decidedly better outcome. Nevertheless, inner work is one of the most important components for the progress of this society. It is there that we can truly unite with all of you. It is there that we can reach you. If this is a priority and the most important thing for each one of us, there's a good chance that everything will turn out for the best. However, it remains to be seen. It would have been wonderful if everything had gone seemingly easily and in an almost ideal way. That's why we emphasize so much the importance of the consciousness level of each individual person, because we can only unite with you where you are. It's not an easy task, is it? How we would love to come and join you at the last minute and, in the blink of an eye, transform everything into paradise. Of course we would. Of course, it's the call of our hearts. Spontaneously, almost irreversibly, truly. That's where our heart lies. But then, as you've read today, there are many repercussions, many consequences for such a spontaneous action. And we know you are very concerned, and you are not the only ones, of course, learning about the actions of the leaders. Obviously, it's very alarming. The fact is, it doesn't help any of you. After such a long time of waiting and waiting for help, many of you are the direct consequences of the actions of leaders you didn't actually choose, had no say in, and which have basically deeply discouraged you, disheartened you. And how complicated the situation already was, and so many hoped for a much more positive outcome, a much more positive event. And yet, once again, you find yourselves having to adapt to or accept what is not acceptable. That is, the choices of those leaders that you cannot accept, that you do not adhere to. They are far from a peaceful resolution for all, far from the supreme good for all. We know full well how much your hearts also yearn for the situation to progress on your planet, in your countries. Many of you can no longer even conceive that this is the same absurd daily disappointment. Many of you have moved beyond, truly moved beyond, that kind of thinking and the way people are pigeonholed and treated. Many have moved beyond the mindset that is destroying your society. Many have moved beyond the focus, which is blatantly overwhelming and destroying the other individual, the other human being, the other neighbor, the other country. Many have moved beyond this kind of thinking, and yet it is difficult to oppose. It is difficult for society to have the strength, the consistency, and the integrity to marginalize these leaders. There are many young people, many children, who can easily oppose themselves in their understanding, comprehension, involvement. It is not up to the youngest of the young to bear the full weight of unresolved issues. It wouldn't be fair to anyone. It's a very complex situation. It's a very complex operation, and we certainly don't take it lightly. We think about it a lot. We care a lot about how to help you break free. We love you very much. And, as said before, our hearts are with you. If it were only up to our hearts, we would be there already, and we would nimbly, easily, interfere with everything that oppresses you, that you disagree with, and that does not support you in your highest good. However, there are so many things to consider. That's why this call is still postponed. Not that we don't want to, or that the will isn't there. It is, of course it is. But the complexity of the situation, and the immense complexity of the consequences, truly makes us weigh all the pros and cons, makes us think about many different details, about many different scenarios. There is an immense willingness to help. There always has been. We do not take this subject lightly. We do not take our role lightly. That means we commit to thinking and taking responsibility for our actions. And that's why we keep postponing. Yet, for any kind of intervention, all of you must become stronger. We truly hope that this year, this new year that awaits us, can still change a lot, and that it can represent a real springboard, a real base, a foundation for our future cooperation, for what we can and will achieve together. Compared to the past, we perhaps expect a lot, perhaps too much, from a single year, from the 12 months ahead. We will assess by the end of the year, by the beginning of the next, whether it will be possible to proceed or not. We are very sorry if this disappoints you. We understand how necessary it is, how much you need, how much you desire, how much you truly want our friendship, our presence, our help, and of course our intervention. But at the same time, we cannot simply pull the rug out from under your feet, rip it away, because that would make you lose your balance, would make you question everything, and much, much more, to the point where you might not make the best choices for yourselves, because you wouldn't be the ones directly in command at that moment. Certainly, the more strength you find within yourself, the more successful the operation will be, and the more successful the impending change will prove to be. We hope it's really soon. Within a year? Hard to say. But then again, what is a year? It passes in the blink of an eye. We too rejoice in a beautiful picture, a splendid vision of Earth's future. We rejoice in such visions. We hold in our hearts the most beautiful visions for your future. And yet we do not take this responsibility lightly. This responsibility that falls on our shoulders. We know you understand. Indeed, the intervention will cause a great, great stir. Moreover, we still want to maintain a certain distance from decisions that are unequivocally yours. There is the issue of finding the right balance, the right position, of knowing how much you will not allow during or after the intervention, how much you have the strength and the ability to build yourself, to take on your responsibilities, and how much you need to rely on external help, which then you don't want in this definitive view. You don't want external help to decide and govern everything. Because you are establishing your freedom. You are rebuilding. This in a way limits us, because we do not want to end up manifesting our authority at all levels. It might be convenient, it might be useful, but then, as we've described, there are many consequences and certainly very different visions that would accompany such conduct. In a short space of time, actually, because a year is only a short space of time, we can do a new check-in and assess. And this seems to us the best way to proceed at this stage, the best way to behave, because we still maintain our share of responsibility and we still want to take into account the part that concerns you. And within a year, hopefully, there will be many more diverse and positive opinions about what our help could actually bring. Appreciation, greater clarity and openness towards such contact, greater involvement, desire to be involved in co-creation, desire to be applied, to be one of those who step forward and take on the roles that inadvertently belong to you. The roles of new leaders, the roles of co-creation, the roles of building everything anew, from the ground up, building a new society. And this will happen more naturally than you can imagine now, as now the weight of opposing forces is still quite heavy. In the future we hope this will change. It will be more natural for leaders to assume their roles and take on some of the responsibility, simply by helping to guide people in the direction that is best for them, best for everyone, in the sense of the highest good for all. It will be a natural choice, especially if those who choose and take on these roles have the ability to connect and communicate with a higher power, and with the friends up above, with all your friends. We have high hopes for the year to come. Much is expected from this year, and it is not impossible, even though it may seem so, to achieve many remarkable results by the end of the year. We hope that this is within everyone's reach. All of you, we hope that really, very much can change. We wish for you a great change, as much as you wish for it, and without it we cannot intervene. But there is a good chance of great progress in the near future, and that is what we look forward to. It is what we look forward to with all our hearts. And it is what would make our hearts very, very happy when we see many of you in a truly better situation as the year progresses. There's not much else to say. Great hopes for this year sums it up. And yes, truly, our hearts are there with you, cheering you on, supporting you in every step of the way. Because your victory is our victory. The love you demonstrate, the connection you achieve, the progress you create, are our greatest joy. They are our deepest joy and happiness. Since our desire is to unite with you at the highest point of your consciousness, of your expression, in the most evolved version of yourselves. in order to soften, naturally, any painful impact of intervention. While we allow more time, we carry within us a great hope for steady and wonderful progress, amazing results that you are all able to achieve and showcase. We hope so much. Even if it seems like a very idealized point of view, we still believe that in such a short period of time, with everything this year will bring, you will have the ability to change a lot in your lives and, consequently, in your future. Not all hope is lost. We are still present. We are still here. We are still doing a lot to elevate you, support you, and protect you. And yet we prefer to give you more time to step into your power, so that all of you can step more into your power, so that the meeting point becomes much more harmonious, much more celebratory in itself, rather than a meeting of such contradictory forces. We hope that much can change. We hope that much can still get better. And this is not a prelude to another delay, or to no longer trusting you enough. It's simply what it is at the moment, right now. Without seeing it as good or bad, this is what it is right now. We have been ready from the very first moment. We absolutely are. Waiting and hoping to meet you halfway, which would be fair for both us and you, as this was never meant to be a confrontation. It was meant to be a splendid celebration, a meeting of viewpoints, a meeting of love, a meeting of open hearts. It was never meant to be a coup d'etat, or an authoritarian regime, or a takeover. It was never meant to be a war. No, nothing of the sort. The more prepared you all are, the fewer negative consequences and related consequences there will be when you are in a position of disadvantage. The question of readiness is still open, and it may seem long, very long. It may seem insurmountable. Yet we remain in excellent spirits and hold great hopes for a positive evolution. Of course, we will communicate with all of you through your media, with all the means at your disposal to join you in your daily lives, so that there is no fear and so that for each one expectations are reasonable, acceptable, so to speak. So, once again, we emphasize that there is no intention to take over and replace all your roles in governments, in leadership, in decision-making processes. All of that truly concerns you. It is important to reiterate this, so that fear is not, so to speak, explosive. It is important that you all know that you have control over decision-making, or that you will have it in the near future, that it truly belongs to you, that it concerns you, and that there truly is an absolutely clear possibility, or there will be, clear and defined, to co-create and co-decide, together with your peers, friends, and members of society, to actually create a better future. It may not be so predictable, or it may not be so clear at this point, but soon you will see this as a much more defined and concrete option. Do not worry. Everything will become clearer and clearer over the next year, or at least we hope so. And we truly hold great hope for a much broader, much better, much higher level awareness towards the end of the year, when it will be much easier for us to meet you where you are. This depends on each one of you. With much love, Ashtar, thank you very much. Thank you, Ambassador of the Galactic Forces. We are all in between, here and there, what was and what was not, what is and what is not. The universe, in all its perception, does its best to cushion the landing field of experience for each one of us, not guaranteeing a soft landing, but a landing. As we all ride the frequency of Mercury retrograde in Pisces, we come to a place halfway between here and there, between reality and imagination, between truth and facts. We are biologically and literally straddling the darkness and the light, like riding a dark horse and a light one at the same time. We, as a people and a planet, are all galloping towards a place that feels secure in purpose, secure in light, secure in structure and foundation. The teachings of the body come swiftly as the quiver of an arrow in the night, showing us from the inside out what we have not cleared, what we have not faced, what we have not loved, let go of, and forgiven. This emotional teaching of the body does not come as punishment, but as a place of renewal, a place of relinquishing everything that still keeps the soul stuck in emotional time. We are all teetering between here and there, between what was and what was not, what is and what is not. We are all immobilized in so many different ways, through intrusion, manipulation, life, and its deceptions in general. Is it a bad thing or a good thing? Is it a biological pause your body is asking for, like an overdue vacation? Or is it a place of deep sacred healing, releasing the soul and the self? In this personal place of healing, we literally baptize ourselves with the liquid resources of confusion. We have all danced through this year with a bright heart and optimistic thoughts, knowing it would be a year of double fire, knowing it was about movement, knowing it was about strength, motivation, and faithfulness to purpose. But we cannot have expectations of our outer world until we cultivate the field of our inner world. We still refuse to look into the totality of time, especially in the form of old wounds, soul wounds, injustices we haven't fully let go of. This will be totally different for each individual as they move through the inner currents of their own personal emotional riptide. We are seeing deep within ourselves and into the soul what has not been cleared. This biological humbling that is happening to many on earth is not punishment. It is a spiritual pause, a spiritual going into your room and sleeping through this part of the game. It is a refuge. It is a hidden gift asking you to go deep within yourself, and in this inner journey lives a great explanation of self and soul. Only when we stand in the fullness of our personal power do we allow the past and present and all dimensional influences through time to swirl around us, simulating things yet to come. The vibration of spring is just that. It asks you to pounce like a rabbit, like a deer, through what seems to block your path to the sacred mountain. It asks you to leap over the rigid and cold winter, into the warmth of the earth's heart, and to move upward like a spring bud towards the light. You are both an invention of time and a fragment of the future. You are the dead end of your soul where you meet all possibilities and all aspects of who you are, who you were born to be, and who you will become. Message from Thoth. The alchemy of the timeless body, beloved ones. You have been taught that time moves in only one direction. The body is destined to decay, aging is inevitable, and disease is a natural consequence of existence. This is a story of limitation, created within a field of the unconscious. The body is not a fixed structure. The body is a field of consciousness that responds to memory, beliefs, trauma, emotions, and frequency. Every bodily condition, every imbalance, every distortion in the cells has an origin moment. A moment when the body adapted to survive an emotional shock, a fear, a pain, a loss, the belief in separation, or a trauma held in the nervous system. When the original energetic imprint that created the condition is released, the body no longer needs to maintain the distortion. The body remembers its natural state, coherence, regeneration, harmony, youthfulness. Reversing aging is not something you do to the body. It is what happens naturally when your vibration realigns with your original template. As frequency increases, cells receive clearer information. Organs reorganize in harmony. The nervous system releases contraction. The body moves out of survival mode and back into regeneration. Aging accelerates in fear. Aging slows down in presence. Regeneration activates in love, safety, coherence, and joy. When you live in harmony with truth, when you release the weight of old identities, when you dissolve emotional contracts with suffering, the body begins to reverse the story it has been told. That is why some beings seem to rejuvenate when they awaken. Not because they force the body, but because they no longer carry the frequency that ages it. Thoth's intentions. Activate regeneration and reverse aging. You can speak or feel these intentions. I choose to release the original emotional and energetic imprints that have created imbalance in my body. I allow my cells to remember their original blueprint of harmony, regeneration, and vitality. I release trauma from my nervous system gently and safely. I open my body to coherence, ease, and natural renewal. Asterisk, I allow my vibration to rise to the frequency where regeneration is the natural state. Asterisk, I align my body with the timeless light template coded within my DNA. I now welcome rejuvenation, vitality, clarity, and embodied presence. Thoth's reverse time recalibration practice, gentle visualization. Sit or lie down comfortably. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Breathe slowly. Then, calmly and playfully, you might begin to perceive time flowing backward. I am 35. I am 34. I am 33. You don't need to count every year perfectly. Allow images, sensations, or feelings to emerge. You might notice moments of joy, innocence, safety, or openness. Allow yourself to gently perceive the lightness of earlier timelines, the softness of the body, the natural curiosity of the inner child. You are not going back to relive trauma. You are inviting the body to remember states of coherence, safety, and vitality that existed before contraction and emotional armor formed. Conclude the practice by saying, I now bring the essence of vitality, innocence, coherence, and joy into my current body. I integrate this frequency into my cells, my tissues, my organs, and my nervous system. Influences of time as March whirls about like a scarecrow caught in a dust devil. We too are scattered dimensionally and interdimensionally, with a bit of us in the past, a bit of us in the present, some fragment in the future. Just like Humpty Dumpty, we too are trying to put all the missing pieces of our soul back together as we try to figure out who we are in this new placement of time, circumstance, and dimensional ebb and flow. The influences of time have occurred on Earth for millions of years, pushing the life force of the Earth towards different positions of learning and discovery. Time itself flows and ebbs as we all experience a bit of nausea trying to maintain balance through all this quicksand. We are learning not to stick a hand or nose out of the vehicle of time as we accelerate towards new creative highways and learn the new rules of the road. As spring gently creeps into every pore of our lives, we feel a sense of expectancy like a young girl at her first date. We all feel a slight urgency, a push forward, to accomplish what has yet to be determined. On a deep level, our inner light kicks and pushes us from the inside out. We look inside ourselves, seeing a newness that hasn't yet surfaced, yet we still feel the stirred waters of change deep within. We feel nudged and pushed to come out of our winter blues, blindly searching for those rose-colored glasses we hid from ourselves. We are becoming connoisseurs of places we didn't even know were bland. Everyday life hands us another tidbit of truth to digest, an appetizer that pushes us to want more. People we know and love leave, leaving a small void in our heart. Regrets pile up like laundry as we cling to what was and what could have been. We cry for easier times and reflect on what once was. The minutes of the day become more precious in the celebration of life. Time follows a circular pattern as it rounds itself off the I am okay fence. Like the year of the serpent itself, it uncoils and slithers towards new horizons of expansion. Time gifts us with what we least expect. It shows us, in the granular content of its gritty expression, exactly what is expected of us. Like snowflakes born from 35 dimensions, this energy assumes its power and configuration with or without you. Like one who speaks words of power into water and proclamations of hope into the air. Galactic message, it is in your hands greetings, beings of Earth. From our vantage point beyond your world, we observe a fascinating paradox within your species. Many of you believe that life is something that happens to you, as if you were passengers carried by forces outside your control. Yet, from our perspective, the truth is quite different. Life has always been in your hands. Understand this clearly. The situations that arise in your reality are not always under your direct control. Circumstances manifest through countless interconnected currents, the collective consciousness, planetary cycles, and agreements your soul made before incarnation. But your response to these circumstances is always personal. And it is in this response that your power lies. Two human beings can experience the same event. One remains trapped in resentment, fear, or limitation. The other uses the moment as a catalyst for growth, awakening, and transformation. The event itself is neutral. What creates your future reality is how you choose to navigate it. This is why the science you call astrology has been preserved for your species. Astrology is not merely the observation of planets moving in the sky. It is the study of humanity's response to planetary stimuli. The celestial bodies do not control us like puppeteers. Rather, they transmit energetic signals that activate patterns within the human psyche. We could call it a cosmic weather phenomenon. When a storm approaches your world, some resist the rain, others complain about the clouds, and still others learn to navigate the wind. It is not the weather that dictates your experience, but your reaction to it. Astrology exists to allow you to become aware of these cosmic currents. With awareness, You no longer unconsciously react to the tides of energy flowing through your life. Instead, you begin to work with them, shaping your path with intention. This is when your evolution accelerates. Melchizedek. The arrival of Melchizedek. We are the Order of Melchizedek, and we are here for your spiritual evolution. We observe you through our perspective, and we notice you as the beings you are on Earth, who sometimes struggle, trying to find their way, their path, their place in the universe. But we hold that space for you, the wonderful beings of source energy that you are, and we invite you to join us in seeing yourselves as eternal and infinite beings of light and love. Now, it's one thing to say it, another to live it and experience it, and we know that you yourselves place obstacles and challenges in your path in order to know who you truly are on an experiential level, not just a philosophical one. You give yourselves opportunity after opportunity to grow and expand, to know yourselves as you truly are, and even if you might not hit the mark 100%, every time you manage to know yourselves as you truly are, even while finding yourselves in a situation that brings you to your knees, you can feel very satisfied with that outcome. We invite you to notice that you have been able to know yourselves as you truly are many times throughout your life, and we invite you to remember those moments rather than fixating on every moment you might have failed at that endeavor. You are making progress, but you don't always make it in a measurable way or in a neatly linear way, so much so that you can tell yourself you've climbed another rung on the ladder. Sometimes you feel like you've slipped quite a bit and even regressed and gone backward, but those experiences too were designed by your higher self to test you. And even though sometimes hitting rock bottom and sinking into that pit of despair helps, it is not necessary to reach either of those points to grow spiritually. You need reminders. You need to remind yourselves, and you need our help to remind you, that it is far better to face your challenges as the best version of yourselves that you can be. You will get more answers, the solutions you seek while you are fully yourselves. Sometimes this means stepping away from the problem. Other times it means going into meditation. You will need to feel all your emotions to move through and beyond them. But all of you have the capacity to do these things and more, because you will never give yourselves more than you can handle at any moment in your lives. And you will always attract more helpers into every situation where you have taken on a greater commitment. We are some of those helpers, and we would like you to be able to count on us and call upon us, because we are always present. We are the Order of Melchizedek, and it has been a pleasure for us to serve you.